I'll just speak for like 10 minutes on the mind of a wealthy man. The mind of a wealthy man. Now, when we started Wealth Summit, we understood the true definition of wealth. We have people that are rich, but they are not wealthy. We have riches and we have wealth. When you set out in life, it is very important for you to understand the destination you are going to. Can you imagine taking a vehicle from your house, maybe you live in Badagry, and when you got on that vehicle, the person sitting beside you, you started conversation, and you started talking and talking and talking and talking, and you kept enjoying the conversation. And you got to a particular point, the person got out of the vehicle. And the next person got out of the vehicle. And all of a sudden, you realized that you have embarked on a journey that you don't have a defined destination. How devastating would that be? Embarking on a journey without a defined destination. Wealth Summit was created to help people define clearly what kind of destination they want to find themselves. For some people sitting here, it could be in 12 months. For some, it could be in 5 years. For some of us, it could be 10 years. But what is most important is that you must understand what destination you are going to. And for us, the destination we are pitching to you is the destination called wealth. When we talk about riches, in most cases, when you want to measure people's riches, you measure it based on their bank statement and maybe the kind of income that they earn. But that is limited because your bank statement does not define you. There are people that have very robust bank statement, but that does not make them wealthy. Because when we talk about wealth, it's not just about how much you have, but how much you are able to add to other people. So, wealth is more about value addition. As we look at your net worth, it doesn't stop there. You are living a life not for yourself, but for people. When this business started, when we're going to define our destination, we told ourselves we are not in this business to become millionaires. We are in this business to make other people millionaires. So each time we go for a strategy session and we hold our retreats, all of our plannings is always geared towards how do we make millionaires. But you know the interesting thing? It is impossible for you to make millionaires and you will remain poor. That's the mindset of a wealthy man. Even when you have nothing. You know, recently I was speaking at a particular gathering and I had to pause and I asked the audience. Some of them were people that knew us when we started. And they attended some of those seminars we used to organize. And I asked them, what made you sit down listening to us those days? I wanted to hear from them firsthand. We didn't look like the destination we were painting for you. You were in the struggle, we were in the struggle. And we stood before you and started painting pictures of a time when this will happen, that will happen, that will happen. And you didn't see us as stupid. You came back the next week again. What were you hearing? I needed to ask them. But listen to me, that's how wealthy people think. It's not until you have the billions in your account. It is first within, then without. If you are not wealthy on the inside, you can't be wealthy on the outside. So it starts with you understanding that wealth comes with value addition and impact in other people's lives. When we talk about riches, you can see it from the angle of poor multiplication effect. Because whatever you acquire as riches does good for you only. You want to live large. You want to chill with the big boys. You want to pump champagne. And at the end of the day, you have not made difference in other people's life. Now, what people remember about you is not just how you have lived your life, but when they want to talk about you, they want to talk about the amount of people or the number of people that your life has influenced. So when we gather at the World Summit, it's not just for us to talk about the wealth we have created or the riches we have added, but how can we make other people become wealthy? So wealth is about sufficient multiplication effect. Riches is always short term. When people are making decisions about accumulating money to becoming rich, they think only in the short term. So when you see people, if you ask people about their dreams, and the best they can tell you is, I look forward to the next 12 months. I want to own a car. I want to buy a house. I want to travel to Dubai. I want to travel to California. If that is all that you think about, you're thinking about riches. Your decisions will be based on short term. And what will happen? The result will be the way the riches come over short term, the chances of you losing them over a short time is always there. But a wealthy man, the system that wires a wealthy man is driven by long-term thinking, long-term decision, transgenerational impact. If all you came to do is to live life for yourself, then you are of all men most miserable. You must have the consciousness that you are creating wealth so that you can impact other people. When people run after riches, they keep working all their life. The mindset of someone that just wants to become rich is the mindset that keeps you working all your life. So when such people even start businesses, they can't trust other people to work with them. And that's why you see many people that call themselves businessmen, they are not actual businessmen. They are self-employed. Because any business that you have built that does not have system around it, it simply means the business will always need you to survive. So if you fall sick, the business has fallen sick. If you travel, the business has traveled. If you die, that is the end of the business. And that's the thinking of someone that is all about riches. But a wealthy man creates systems. A wealthy man wants to build for others to come in and be a part of it. A wealthy man is not thinking how to directly work. You are thinking of how to create systems that will benefit other people, and in the long term, you stay wealthy. The rich is always thinking about how to get rich quick. How can I make this money very fast? But for a wealthy man, just like we have heard today from the first 2 or 3 speakers, they understand process. They are not in a hurry to create wealth because they know that whatever they are creating will transcend from one generation to another. So there are forms of investment we might be introducing to you today that might not be short-term. If you are a wealthy person, you want to plug into such opportunities. Now listen to me, when we started this business 10 years ago, we understood what we wanted to achieve. We weren't comparing ourselves with nobody. At our level then, we could not afford to buy land in Banana Island. But we started looking for Cassava Islands. You know Cassava Islands? So we went to E4, Ofadawode, Aton. You know those places, those years, you can get real estate for as low as 50,000 naira per plot. Now, we had the mindset of the wealthy. So we told ourselves, this same place that is a forest or a bush today will definitely turn a city tomorrow. So we started investing at that level. And I know some people made mockery of us. Some people that we took to side those days, they saw us like, these guys, you must be crazy. But for some of those locations today, we have had to make over 1,000% in few years doing business in that space. Now, that is crazy to talk about, that you are in business, you are making over 1,000% because you were able to wait for a long time. There are many of us today, the things we'll talk about, it's possible for you to just feel, this opportunity is not for me. And right there, you can afford to start, no matter how small your level. You'll be making the greatest mistake of your life. There's nothing to envy about successful people. Look out for what they did that make them successful. That's what you should envy. And begin to do that thing. Success does not come cheap. But it has a process. If you understand the process and you choose to follow the process, it's just a matter of time, you will arrive there. So what's the DNA of a wealthy mind? Number one, the wealthy mind thinks investment. 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 So if you are here today, one of the things you have done is that you have invested time. You know, when the Honorable Commissioner was speaking, he wowed about the fact that this is not an entertainment gathering, yet you have this number of people sitting. And that's an encouragement that we still have people in Nigeria that values knowledge. This is an investment into your mind. Now, apart from mind investment, there's the investment of taking action. It's not what you hear that makes you, it is what you do. Great events don't make great people. It's always great decisions, actions that you take after such events. So I want to challenge you today to invest not just in your mind. After you have ingested it inside, you need to start making moves. Take action. Now, I've observed people, and I've seen that it's not always the most intelligent that becomes the most successful. It is the guy that has the courage to make that move after everyone has had or received information. So today, I'm glad you are here to invest time, but go beyond investing time. Invest other resources. The DNA of a wealthy mind has to think of mentorship, and that was mentioned earlier. The secret of great men, they say, is in their stories. And if you want to hear the true story about a great man, listen to that great man. Get close to the great man. So the wealthy mind thinks both above, at its level, and even below. So while you are looking up to some people as your mentor, you are also conscious of the fact that I need to groom other people behind me. You know, when we're talking about differentiating wealth from riches, we talked about how that the wealthy mind wants to impact and bring people up. And that's what mentorship is all about. The DNA of a wealthy mind is salesmanship too. You don't believe anything is impossible to achieve. The wealthy mind understands the importance of selling themselves to people. Now, no matter how well or how good the product that you have to sell, people need to buy into you first before they buy into your product. So the wealthy mind is always thinking, how best can I sell myself to people? I remember many years ago, we attended an event, that is SBLS, Success Business and Leadership School. Our mentor here is the owner of that school. And one of those days, we had a session, and they asked people to introduce themselves, and everybody was introducing one after the other. And when it got to my turn, I told them, I'm a salesman, and I'm proudly one. And I told them the unique thing about me is the fact that I can sell anything legitimate. Just about anything. Bring it my way. I have the capacity to sell it. Now, you know the beauty of when you attend events, networking is very important, right? Let me shock you. Immediately the meeting ended, almost everybody that was in business in that room started coming to me. As in, they were waiting one after the other to speak with me. Why? I just told them I had a value that they needed. Because every business wants to sell products or services. And this is someone standing, telling everyone, I'm a salesperson, I'm probably one, and I can sell anything legitimate in any sector, in any industry. I had so many people to connect with on that day. So salesmanship, committed to ensuring that whatever comes to your hand does not fail. Risk taking is another thing. The DNA of a wealthy mind takes risk. You know, Wiseman was speaking earlier and was talking about, can we have more than one mothers? Honorable Commissioner. Before you came, he said he has many mothers, so that one is the most dangerous. You know, we can be confused about your father. At least one mother should push you out, right? Okay, that's just on a lighter mood. And he said one of his mothers, we always say, every time, you'll be saying na 9, na 9, na 9. When na 10 go pass, you know go no. So, na lie, na lie, na lie. When na true pass, you know, a wealthy mind is always ready to take risk. Now, the higher the risk you take in life, the higher the chances of you becoming successful. A lazy man will say there is a lion in the field. That's why I won't go out. Now, you need to step out there and face those challenges and make things work. So one of the things you need to do, this is not a motivational speech. You know, we are not motivational speakers. We are raw people, practical people. Our life is not about motivating people. No. We tell you the way it is. So if I'm telling you to take risks, I'm telling you because I know that that's what makes great people. You must leave this room to begin to do the things you have not done before. You must begin to attempt things that looks bigger than you, because that's the way to become successful. The reason why you are not attempting is because you are afraid of failure. Have you ever thought of it that what if I do this thing, I don't fail? What the reward will be like? That should always be your thought pattern. And that's how the wealthy mind thinks. The wealthy mind is a visionary. Sees beyond the ordinary, sees beyond now. The question I asked the audience that I told you about, when they were going to respond, they told me they weren't following me, but they were following the vision. That was the response I got from them. When I asked, what were you thinking? Why did you sit down listening to these guys looking rugged and not poor? Let's just use it. Poor, rickety guys. And they said they weren't following us then. What they were following was the vision. The picture that we painted about the destination. So they wanted to be on the journey with us to get there. And I'm glad today that we have so many people that believed in the vision and their lives has been transformed. I know we have a number of them here today. If you have been blessed by the pertinence team, can you just give a shout in the room? Thank you so much. That's the power of a vision. So I want you to leave this room also to craft a vision about your life and what you do, because that's what people will follow. This one, we have learned it over the years following our mentor, and that's dangerous giving. You see, if you don't understand this principle, you can do every other thing right, and you still be wondering why things are not working. The wealthiest people on the face of the earth are people that are committed to giving. But not just giving, dangerous giving. When we talk about giving, it's not limited to money. You saw me celebrated Victor earlier, even in his passing. It's simply because the young man gave. He gave all that he had to the business. You know, when I checked his Instagram handle after his demise, I realized that all the pictures that he had on his Instagram handle is pertinence. Beautiful pictures, but everything. And I started wondering, does he not have social life? Or even the social life that he pasted there were social life that he enjoyed working. That was somebody that gave. You must understand giving from that perspective. You have time, you have talents, you have resources. Give it to whatever you're doing, and you'll be shocked the way the return will come. I want to close by